In a tournament that's been so full of drama, Australia have had smooth sailing to kick things off for their campaign. 2 wins out of 2 so far. Their third game sees them take on Namibia, hoping to inch closer to that Super 8 spot. We build up to that contest, which takes place in North Sound, Antigua on Maruti Suzuki Arena. Presents ESPN Cricinfo Timeout, powered by Dishtv Watcho, with Aaron Finch joining us all the way from Antigua. Thank you so much, Finchy, for your company. Always a pleasure having you with us. Before we look ahead to this game, you did witness the first game in Antigua where Scotland chased down 150 in 13 overs, which has also made things a little scary for England. So I wonder what the mood's like around Antigua.
Yeah, England have got their backs against the wall at the moment, that's for sure. I think that result was one where people probably, of the associates, probably had Namibia ahead of Scotland over in this group. So yeah, it's made things really interesting. I think England were very disappointing in patches against Australia, and in their first game they were obviously hampered by some weather, but overall very tight group, and it's going to come down to that last game between Australia and Scotland for sure.
Australia versus Scotland to decide England's future in the competition. It has the world buzzing with what could be, but we will save that for later. Let's focus on Australia, Finchy. Already appear to have most bases covered, as they do at most world events. What stood out for you in the 2 games you've seen of Australia so far?
I think the clinical nature so far has been really impressive from Australia. Obviously, when you come into a World Cup, there's a lot of pressure, particularly on a team like Australia, who are holding the 2 other ICC events in the World Test Championship and the 50 over World Cup in the men's game. So there is pressure, and I think the way that they dealt with Oman in the first game was quite clinical. That was impressive. And then to go up against England, who have got a really good record, they'd won 6 of the last 7 games against Australia in the T20 format, and almost bat them out of the game. And that second over of Travis Head, I think just the intent and the confidence in each other, but also in their own game, was really impressive. So I think Australia should be really proud of that, but a long way to go in the tournament for sure.
Any particular areas you've identified they'd want to take in the last couple of group stage games?
I think they've been pretty consistent across the board. Marcus Stoinis in that really important number 5 position, getting really good runs in both games. The first game against Oman, it was a really difficult time for Australia. They'd lost a couple of wickets. It was just that time when you felt like they could end up really well short of a total that they needed. So that was good. His bowling's been excellent. I think that would have been a part that Australia would have identified as needing to really lock down with Maxwell, Stoinis, Tim David, and the option of Cameron Green in that middle order as well. So I think the fact that he started the tournament so well will give Australia a huge amount of confidence.
It's a second look at the Viv Richards Stadium in North Sound, Antigua in this tournament. You've seen the first game. What did you make of the conditions there, Finchy? Is it a surface that the Australian batters will enjoy?
I think they'll enjoy it a lot more than what they did in Barbados. That was a challenging wicket for sure. It was a little bit up and down and very spin friendly. So I think what we saw last night in the game, it'll be better for batting. I still don't think it's going to be the 200 plus scores consistently that we've become so used to throughout the IPL, but what it's been able to do is provide a better contest between bat and ball, and I think that this will probably be the best they've played on so far, including the warm-up games.
Right. You touched upon Namibia not having been the side a lot of us expected them to have been at this edition. They've been so impressive in recent T20 World Cups. What do you put that down to, and what are the areas with which they could look to hurt Australia?
Well, their top order needs to get some runs. I think they've lost too many wickets early on so far, and that would be a concern for them. I think they've got a lot of experience in their side, but it just hasn't quite clicked. And I guess when you go into a tournament with some pressure as well, it's probably a position that Namibia haven't been in a huge amount in ICC events. To walk in and have a tag that maybe you can make the semi-finals or maybe you can make the second round, the Super 8s, is a little bit of a different pressure. So all of a sudden you can go into your shell at times and you can start to, I guess, look to be a little bit more conservative. And obviously the wicket hasn't been ideal for teams to come out and strike from ball one. It's been challenging against the new ball. It's been challenging as the game gets older. So I think they'll be disappointed, but they'll take a lot of experience from this tournament as well.
All right, let's see what we can get from Namibia and whether they can push Australia more than some of the other teams have so far. Thank you so much for setting that game up for us, Finchy. That does it on Maruti Suzuki Arena. Presents ESPN Cricinfo Timeout, powered by Dishtv. Watch Show.
Introducing the epic new Swift. Time to go swifting.
वॉचो ऐप पे देखो एक OTT के दाम पे सारे OTT शान से।
Watch